Welcome to my channel. I am Mohan and I will telling you Hindu culture and lessons for peaceful life.
Bhagavad Gita Chapter 2 Sankhya Yoga. Lord Krishna's teachings explain. Bhagavad Gita is one of the most important chapters of the Gita because it contains the foundation of Lord Krishna's spiritual teachings. After seeing his relatives, teachers and friends on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna becomes overwhelmed with grief, fear and confusion. He drops his bow and refuses to fight. At this critical moment, Lord Krishna begins to guide Arjuna. The teachings of chapter 2 explain the nature of the soul, duty, wisdom, self-control, and the path to inner peace. 1. The wise do not grieve excessively. Krishna first tells Arjuna that his sorrow comes from misunderstanding reality. Arjuna is grieving for those who may die in battle. But Krishna explains that truly wise people do not become overwhelmed by grief for either the living or the dead. Krishna does not say that feelings are wrong. Instead, he teaches that excessive attachment and ignorance create suffering. When people see life only from a physical perspective, they become trapped by fear and sorrow. Wisdom begins when one understands the deeper nature of existence. This lesson teaches us to remain balanced during difficult situations. Challenges, losses, and changes are part of life, and wisdom helps us face them with courage. 2. The soul is eternal. One of the most famous teachings of chapter 2 is that the soul is immortal. Krishna explains that the body is temporary, but the soul never dies. People are not merely physical beings, they are eternal spiritual beings living in temporary bodies. Just as a person changes clothes when old ones wear out, the soul leaves one body and takes another. Birth and death belong to the body, not to the soul. This understanding removes much of the fear associated with death. The soul cannot be destroyed by weapons, fire, water, or wind. It is eternal, unchanging, and indestructible. The message is clear: our true identity is the soul, not the body. 3. Accept change as a natural part of life. Krishna reminds Arjuna that change is unavoidable. Childhood changes into youth, youth changes into old age, and eventually, death comes to every physical body. Since change is natural, resisting it creates suffering. Many people become unhappy because they expect life to remain the same. Relationships change, careers change, circumstances change, and even our bodies change. Krishna teaches that understanding and accepting change allows people to remain peaceful. Instead of fighting reality, one should adapt with wisdom and patience. 4. Perform your duty. A major teaching of this chapter is the importance of duty, known as dharma. Krishna tells Arjuna that as a warrior, it is his duty to protect righteousness and justice. Avoiding his responsibility because of fear or emotional attachment would not be honorable. Krishna explains that every person has responsibilities in life. A student has a duty to learn. A parent has a duty to care for family. A teacher has a duty to educate. A leader has a duty to serve society. True fulfillment comes from performing one's duty sincerely rather than avoiding responsibility. 5. Focus on action, not results. One of the most quoted teachings of the Bhagavad Gita appears in this chapter. Krishna teaches that people have control over their actions, but not over the results of those actions. This means that individuals should focus on doing their best rather than constantly worrying about success or failure. When people become obsessed with results, they often experience stress, anxiety, and disappointment. By concentrating on effort instead of outcomes, they gain peace and clarity. This principle can be applied everywhere. Study sincerely without worrying excessively about grades. Work honestly without constant fear of failure. Help others without expecting rewards. Follow principles even when recognition is uncertain. This attitude is known as karma yoga, the yoga of selfless action. 6. Maintain equanimity. Krishna teaches that true wisdom involves maintaining balance in all situations. Most people become happy when things go well and unhappy when things go badly. Their emotions constantly rise and fall according to external events. A wise person remains steady through both success and failure. This state of balance is called equanimity. Equanimity does not mean becoming emotionless. It means not allowing temporary circumstances to control one's inner peace. A balanced mind makes better decisions and experiences less suffering. 7. Control the mind and senses. Krishna explains that uncontrolled desires and senses can lead people away from wisdom. The process begins when a person constantly thinks about an object of desire. Attachment develops, attachment creates desire, and unfulfilled desire leads to anger. Anger clouds judgment and destroys wisdom. Chie, 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 e. Therefore, Krishna teaches self-control and discipline. The senses should serve wisdom rather than dominate it. Modern examples include controlling unhealthy habits, avoiding impulsive decisions, munubi buddhe, managing anger, limiting distractions, practicing patience. A disciplined mind becomes a source of strength rather than weakness. 8. The qualities of a wise person. Arjuna asks Krishna how a truly wise person behaves. Krishna describes such a person as one who is free from excessive attachment, remains calm during difficulties, does not become arrogant during success, controls desires and emotions, possesses inner contentment, maintains self-discipline, acts with wisdom and compassion. Such a person finds happiness within rather than depending entirely on external circumstances. Because inner peace comes from wisdom, it cannot easily be taken away by life's challenges. 9. Inner peace through self-knowledge. Krishna teaches that lasting happiness does not come from possessions, power, or sensory pleasures alone. External pleasures are temporary. They provide enjoyment for a short time and then fade. Real peace comes from understanding one's true spiritual nature. A person who knows the self develops confidence, stability, and freedom from unnecessary fear. This self-knowledge becomes the foundation of a meaningful and purposeful life. Conclusion. The second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita lays the foundation for all of Krishna's teachings. It explains that the soul is eternal, the body is temporary, change is inevitable, and duty must be performed with sincerity. Krishna teaches Arjuna to act courageously, control the mind, remain balanced in success and failure, and focus on right action rather than attachment to results. The central message of chapter 2 is that true wisdom comes from understanding our eternal nature and performing our responsibilities with selflessness and inner balance. These teachings remain relevant today because they help people face challenges, overcome fear, develop self-confidence, and live with purpose, peace, and integrity. Through knowledge, discipline, and devotion to duty, a person can achieve lasting happiness and spiritual growth.